Good morning, and coming at you a little later today. It is Monday, September 12th, 2022. All right, just get the whole date in there. Big thing I wanted to talk about today, because the last few days we've been talking about living to die until natural causes. Great. Man, you make that a priority, you're going to lead a healthier, better life, period. Because we can make plans to do the things that put us in position to live into our 80s, 90s, maybe even crack that century mark, right? But one thing that I wanted to mention is that there is also a difference between lifespan and health span. Huge difference in my mind, right? A lot of people get to 89, 90. The reason why I use those two numbers is that's where my grandma, that's where she passed away, just before her 90th birthday, right? And, I don't remember my grandma ever, since she was 80. She was born when I was 70. I was born when she was 74, right? She died when she was 89. So about 15 years, have memories of her for about 10, give or take. I never remember her being in good health, right? Great, she lived to be 90, but I would say that the last even 15, 20 years of her life couldn't be considered a long health span. And what do we mean by health span? I'm talking about being able to go through your days, through your weeks and months and years without being on chronic illness medication, right? And we've talked about it before. We understand that things can happen, right? There are fluke illnesses, accidents, all kinds of things can get in the way from living a healthy lifespan or cutting that health span short as well. And you'll be able to have a long lifespan, but be, in a regimen of particular pharmaceuticals or many doctor visits, all this kind of stuff. But things that come into play, like when you see people on dialysis, when you see people taking hypertension medication, you see people with severe arthritis, right? All of these things to me are taking away from what it means to be healthy, right? And doing the preventative things like exercise, an 80-20 diet plan, having a spiritual practice, keeping our relationships strong and mended, and being able to right wrongs where we can, and at the end of the day, find a way to connect with yourself and others around you and to be of service, right? All of those things are going to very nicely lead you to a healthy lifespan and a healthy health span, right? Not to be redundant, a healthy health span, but to have a health span where, hey, maybe you lived to 100, but geez, you had 90 years, 85, 90 years of health, of a really healthy life. And I think that everybody can get there. Again, barring quite a few exceptions, but why not make that a goal? Why not make it a goal to say, you know what, I'm going to do everything in my power, in reason, to live a long time with just doing your traditional annual checkup. I think that is something that people should strive for. I've mentioned about the lifespan thing, but let's look at health span just as importantly as we do lifespan. Gonna expand upon this in the future, but there's the plane. So far, I'm 3-1 this year, right? And we still got a game tonight with Denver to beat Seattle by more than a touchdown.